Hello everyone, and in this video we're going to learn a topic called as night fork. We're going to learn what a night fork is. We are going to see how you can solve different puzzles of night fork. We are going to look at how can night fork be helpful in your games. We're also going to see some situations where you can win material using a night fork and eventually win the game. So without further ado, let's just hop into the puzzle right away. So here we got this position. Black is an exchange down, as you can very well see here. Black has got a rook and a knight. White has got two rooks on the board, and here black comes up with a very nice move, which is knight to b3, attacking both the rooks simultaneously. So what is a night fork? A knight attacking two or more pieces simultaneously, right? So this is done to win more material, more points, and eventually to win the game. Now the rook is under attack. One of the rook has to move. Whichever rook moves, you capture the other rook. So for example, if this rook happens to move on to b1, white rook on a5 is clearly hanging, so black would just capture that rook. And now if you notice, black is the one who's winning the game because black has an extra knight on the board and few pawns extra as well. With that, let's move on to the next position. We have knight, my opponent, and our opponent has a rook on f1 and the king on g2. You may very well find the knight jumping onto the square e3, attacking the king and the rook simultaneously together, and that's why white has to move the king away to a safe square. And let's say the king moves to g1 for that matter, and you'll just pick up the rook. Now after the king captures the knight, you still have got two extra pawns, which will help you certainly to win the game. Now let's look at this another example where black is again an exchange down. Black simply gets the knight to b4. Here's a check and attacks the rook on a6. The king has got to move away to a safe square. Doesn't matter, let's say it goes to e3, and you just pick the rook, and now you're winning this game quite easily. So the next puzzle, I'm going to give you time to think over it and find a night fork. Pause the videos in the meantime. Let's look at the solution to this. If you've got it, excellent, good job on that. The black knight on c3 jumps to e2, attacking the king and the rook simultaneously. The king runs on to f1, and there you go, you pick up the rook. And this position is pretty simple. You can just go to c2, pick this pawn up, you can promote one of the pawns, and then just simply win the game. Now this is the second position, which I'm going to again ask you to try and solve this. I've leveled this up a little. This is black to move. You can pause the videos and check out the answers after you're done. So I hope you've got the solution, and you might have seen that the knight certainly captures on a2. So black does go and capture on a2, knight a2 check. Now the king goes on to b2, but then you capture on c3, and this is a knight fork. You win a piece on c3. Having said that, the king cannot capture the knight. If you have seen this variation as well, kudos to you. So king captures on c3, and then you go queen e5 check, making sure that the king cannot go back, forcing the king to go on to c4, and then you play bishop a6 checkmate. This is a checkmate. Also, let's assume if the king goes on to d3, in that case you do not get the bishop to a6, but you get your queen to d4, and this is a mate. So going back to our solution with knight a2 check, so when the king runs on to b2, black captures the bishop on c3, wins a piece. Secondly, there's a knight fork again. So that's how black's winning. Now with that being said, let's move on to the next question, and this is black to move again. Try to solve this and pause your videos before we look into the solution right away. So I hope you've got the solution. If you have found out queen to c1 check. Amazing. This is the best move in the position. The queen gives a check to the king, forcing the king to go on to square, which is g2. And now we go ahead with the knight 4. We play knight f4 check. King goes to f2 and he just picked the rook up. So even after the king captures the knight, black is in a very comfortable position. Black at least is not losing this game now. So with that, if this video you found it very interesting, and if you found that this video has helped you learn something more and something interesting, do let me know in the comment section below. I'll be very happy to make more and more of such videos on different chess tactics that can help you win the games and finally level up your rating scale overall. Thank you for now.